like, let's talk about YouTube for a second, because that's a massive platform. Now, I don't think that YouTube is necessarily the solution here, but I think that I think it's illustrative of and kind of a microcosm of the problem that we're seeing here. Okay. When I log into YouTube, we kind of joke about this because my Google account is logged into YouTube on our television, right? So you'll go off on your own, you'll watch whatever YouTube videos. And then when we go and we sit down and we want to watch something quick on the TV, we pull up my YouTube account and you scroll around kind of chuckling at some of the recommendations that I have.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's curated to me and me precisely.
Yeah.
It's designed for that. And yours is radically different, even though we watch some of the same things, because the smallest difference can create a massive difference in recommendation. Okay? I remember back in the early days of YouTube, there were multiple videos where I swear every single person and their tech-savvy grandma who was on the internet had seen that.
Yeah.
Okay, like
Charlie bit my finger.
Yeah, Charlie bit my finger, right? We've got like some of the original Dude Perfect trick shot videos. Yeah. We've got
Okay Go.
Epic Mealtime. Yeah, the Epic Go with the treadmills.
Okay Go.
Yeah.
You said Epic Go.
Oh, I was thinking Epic Mealtime.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what that is, but...
Oh, okay. Have you seen the shirts that go like bacon strips and more bacon strips and... Okay, basically what they would do is they'd buy a bunch of junk food and they'd make like the largest insert thing here. So they would make I don't know, like a 50-pound lasagna out of Big Macs.
Okay.
Okay, and then they'd eat it, and it was a bunch of college students. Okay. But my point is, you'd have these things where, I swear, like, you go into school and everyone would be watching. You go into work and people were sharing the video around. Every single person had watched the new Epic Mealtime video, the new trick shot video, the new whatever.
I mean, you do still get viral things, but I do
Sure.
feel like even things going viral these days, you're not as guaranteed for as many people that you encounter to have seen the things. Like, it's like people who are on TikTok see the viral TikTok things.
Exactly.
But not everyone's on TikTok.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
a lot of
fragmented
people
based
are.
on platform now.
Yeah.
Something can go viral on Twitter.
Or tweets go viral, and I see all the viral tweets because I'm on Twitter a fair amount, but you don't.
Yeah.
My parents don't.
Yeah, or I hear about some of these things like, oh, the new latest TikTok dance craze has kids, I don't know, whatever it is.
Cinnamon, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever the new stupid thing on TikTok is, has kids dancing on cop cars and 17 kids have been arrested or whatever.
Do you remember planking?
Yeah, okay, that's a great example of like planking was so big, it was like that, it was referenced in The Office.
Yeah.
Okay, or what was that Chris Brown song? I think maybe it was Forever.
Yeah.
Right, like that's referenced in The Office, and everybody knows about that because it's not relegated to a particular community. Versus now, some new TikTok star who's like 12 or however old does some dance and it takes all of TikTok by storm. That's fine and all, but like my grandma has no idea about that. I remember my grandma coming to me and being like, "Oh, have you seen this new video?" And it was like, "Charlie bit my finger." And it's like, "Yeah, I've seen that, Grandma." And it's hilarious. And everyone has seen it. And it's awesome because we can all kind of chuckle at this together and have a great time.
Like, remember the... this is just going to turn into a long nostalgia trek, isn't it? But the dress.
Oh, yeah, with the different
blue
colors.
Blue and black or white and gold. Like, that connected the whole world for like...
That's a more recent example. Yeah, that's good.
But
that's a great example of a recent one.
I'm starting to wonder if I'm just getting too old for the trends because these days I feel like when we go and we're listening to the top 50 on iTunes or whatever, half the time I'm like, what are these songs? Like, I have no idea what these are. Yeah, are we just like getting old that we're not in with the cool kids anymore, and the cool kids have moved on to TikTok and whatever's happening there, and we're just past it? I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess what I'd say is, and music's a little bit different of an animal. I think you maybe need to go back a little bit farther to the heyday of like MTV, where they were actually playing music videos,
where adults
and stuff.
Kids.
Yeah, right. Where you've got Michael Jackson's Thriller, when you've got Take on Me, right? I think the point though is that with some of these older videos, I literally remember my grandparents talking about things. I remember going to Thanksgiving and talking with my cousin who was not my cousin, my second cousin who was multiple years older than me, talking to him about Epic Mealtime, and my great aunt talking about how she loved one of the dudes on it and thought he was hilarious, right? Like, we're talking about a 70-year-old and a 20-year-old and like a 14-year-old or something. Okay, so my point here is that you're saying, oh, well, maybe we're too old for this. That's the exact point. It's that you used to not have to be a certain age for some of these things in the past, whereas now, yeah, you have to be under the age of 23 to understand the newest TikTok trend. And I think before, right, when I gave the example of my grandma showing me a Charlie Bit My Finger video, right? Now I'm like, there's this level of connection that I have with my grandma, right? We both think like, this is a funny, silly video. We can talk about that. And that can kind of lead into other conversations. Mm-hmm. Versus now, it's so fractured and fragmented, and the things that I'm talking about with somebody new, right? What used to happen is I would bring up, have you seen this? Oh my gosh, yeah, it was so funny, right? We're kind of on the same wavelength, and now we can use that as a basis to talk about other things. Whereas now, what I find happens a lot is, oh, have you seen this? No. Like, swing and a miss. Have you seen this? No. Swing and a miss. Do you listen to this podcast? No. Over your head. Right? We have no level of sync up between people.
Yeah. Well, now I feel like it's all the people who watch, CNN, they can all share over whatever CNN's saying.
Yeah.
And all the people who watch Fox News, they can be collective and share about what Fox News is saying.
Yeah, and then by the way, that's a great example. I think this also results in a level of like polarization. The more things become fragmented, the more they become polarized.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everyone needs to listen to the same thing all the time. But I am saying that I think that some of these experiences, some of this narrative needs to be shared. I think that people need to get together in person. I think that we need to foster communities at a number of different levels.